This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Ramsey personality, best-selling author, and host of The Ken Coleman Show. Ken Coleman is my guest today. We help people do work that they love. We help them build wealth and create amazing relationships. And we're taking your calls about all of those things right now. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Simone is going to start off this hour in Buffalo, New York. Hi, Simone. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me today.
Sure. What's up?
So basically, I'm really blessed, and I'm in new college. I'm going to graduate college in May of 2022, and I'm kind of blessed to be making $100,000 after graduation with a $10,000 signing bonus. So I kind of had two questions.
Sweet!
One,
What's your degree in?
Computer science.
Way to go, kiddo. You killed it. Yes. A college student with an actual career. I love it.
Yeah. So I guess one thing, how do I properly make sure I use this amazing salary to set myself up for the future? And secondly, how do I convince my parents that I shouldn't take out a loan for a car? Because I kind of wanted to drive a cheaper car that's $10,000 using a sign-on bonus, but they kind of want me to take out a massive car loan to get a nice $30,000 car or something like that.
Okay. I think you've reached a point, kind of gone over the edge of the cliff now, in that you graduated, you're 22 years old, you make $100,000 a year. You don't have to convince your parents of anything, honey. You're like an adult and stuff.
I guess you're right.
Do what?
I guess you're right. I never really thought about it that way.
Yeah. You don't need their permission.
No. It's your life. It's your money, by the way, too.
So, I mean, just, you just smile and say, Mom and Dad, this is what I decided to do, and thanks for your input. And by the way, I may not go to the same church you go to, and by the way, I might buy a dress that's a different color than one that you like, because I'm like an adult and stuff. You don't have to say that to them, but that goes through your mind, right?
Yeah.
This is the part where they start to understand that having children who are grown is the hardest stage of parenting, because you don't get to tell them what to do anymore.
No, that makes sense, because they wanted me to kind of do the whole, I guess, stay-at-home mom thing and stuff, and kind of be an English major who doesn't make a lot of money. So I guess you're right.
And you decide to go be a computer genius and stuff. You're amazing. So, I mean, listen, I don't want you to be unkind to your mom and dad, but the point is you have reached the point in your life where you no longer have to have their permission to do anything. It would be nice to have their approval, but sometimes they may choose to withhold that approval.
Makes sense.
Okay. I mean, let me just tell you how bad it gets sometimes. Rachel ordered a Tesla. This is how bad it is. And I can't do anything about it.
Now, you need to explain to the audience why that bothers you so much.
I can't stand those cars. They're not real cars. They're a battery with 4 wheels.
Dave likes to smell gasoline.
I want a loud muffler. I'm a redneck, and I don't know how I possibly raised a daughter that wants a battery. But she did. So
that's great.
It's a big joke around our house. So the point, I mean, and if Rachel were sitting here, she would love this discussion too. But the point is that she did not buy the car to get her father's approval. Otherwise, she would have bought a 4-wheel drive truck with loud mufflers. So, but you see what I'm saying? So, and I love her, and it's fine if she gets a Tesla. I don't give a crap. George bought one too. I mean, I don't care. Everybody's got one. So whatever.
I don't.
Well, I know, Ken, because you're like a real man and stuff. But, but the...
Even I laughed at that one. Dave, I want to say something real quick here because Simone, here's something, and Dave, I want you to weigh in on this. I think this is a situation where, like a lot of the advice we give on money, it's like make the decision now. Like don't wait and then you overthink. Because what happens is the sway that parents have over their children is tremendous, and rightfully so. And I don't want her to wait to tell mom and dad, hey, listen, I'm going to buy a $10,000 car. I want her to just do it, and then she informs them later.
Just buy the car.
Yes.
That's what I bought, yeah. Yeah, and pay cash for whatever you buy,
yeah.
And then move up in car later. You're making $100,000. You don't have to drive a $10,000 car. You can get a better car with cash later as you go along. And we're going to give you a graduation present. I want you to go through Financial Peace University as my gift. So we'll teach you how to handle money. You asked another question in the call of what is the best process. And the best process is to stay away from debt. It sounds like you have. Get out of debt. Stay away from debt. Have an emergency fund and begin to invest long-term in your retirement account. Honey, if you are very careful, if you're reasonably wise, you're going to be unbelievably wealthy. But if you go spend $110,000 while you make $100, like you're in Congress or something, then you're going to have all kinds of issues, and lots of people do that. So, no, I don't want you to have a car payment. And if I were in your shoes, if I woke up in your shoes, I would not advise you to buy a brand new car. And I would advise you to be kind to your mom and dad and grateful to them for what they've done for you and all those kinds of things, but they no longer have a vote. That's how it works. And, if you need their advice on something, you can ask their advice and they can give advice, but they don't have to be convinced for you to do anything you do.
And you could sense that she knew that they weren't right.
Yeah.
And she's kind of going, how do I, this was a respect question. She's a respectful young lady. And it shows the power that parents have. And Dave, I just wonder at what point culturally, did it become a thing where it's a reasonable decision to take out a loan for the dependability of a new car?
1967. I made that up, but somewhere around there.
Yeah, I was curious.
Car payments became a thing in the 60s.
That's what I was wondering, when that became a normality.
In the 50s and 40s, there were no car payments. Henry Ford detested debt.
Huh.
He hated debt.
I did not know that.
If he understood that Ford Motor Company made more money than Ford does, or Ford Motor Credit makes more money than Ford does, he would have been just spinning in his grave. I mean... and so, that generation, J.C. Penney was nicknamed James Cash Penney. He was tight. He hated debt. And their credit cards on the J.C. Penney at one point made more money than the stores made. And so it's a change in the way debt has been marketed so aggressively that it's become the norm. And this idea that a newer car with a payment is less dangerous than a payment.
Right.
That's an interesting shift that has occurred. But, if you're the parent of a college student, you're younger than me. Because my kids are all older than that. So there you go. Or you could be likely younger than me. This is The Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Well, guys, if you're wondering whether to buy or sell a home this year, we've got some answers. You can expect the market to be a lot like last year with prices still on the rise. But interest rates are headed up too. So what does that mean for you? If you're buying a home, you might be up against some heavy competition, hefty price tags, higher interest rates, higher mortgage payments. You'll need to stick to your budget. If you want to sell your home, chances are it'll sell quickly and for top dollar. And, of course, it'll depend on where you are because every market's different. But to win in any kind of market, you got to have people in your corner that really know what they're doing. If you have experienced real estate agents at your fingertips through our endorsed local provider program, as Ramsey Trusted Pros, they care about your values. Check out RamseySolutions.com/agent and connect with a Ramsey Trusted Pro. Not the type of real estate market, boys and girls, that is amateur hour. Bad idea to do this yourself or to get someone who's been in the business 20 minutes to be dealing with a transaction in this crazy world we live in right this second. Amy is with us. Amy is in Seattle. Hi, Amy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ramsey and Mr. Coleman. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I'm a little nervous. English is not my first language, but I hope I can communicate today.
You're doing good so far.
I'm a 42-year-old single mom of a 10-year-old son living in Seattle, Washington. And I started on a good-paying job about 5 years ago only after moving from Florida to Washington. And since then, I've been doing everything right financially, following on your baby steps. And I'm at baby step 5, actually. I don't have any debt. But, at some point, I do want to buy a home for myself and my son. But I just cannot catch up with the price increase. Every time I think I can get to the 20% down payment, the market just beats me. And I can never, I feel like I'm at a dead end. And this year, my rent has also gone up 21%. I really do not have an option to relocate at this point. So I just wanted to get your advice. I don't have family here in the States. So I don't know what can I do? What should I do at this point?
Okay. What do you make?
I'm making $145K a year.
Okay. How much have you saved for a down payment?
So, I can put in at least $150K.
Well, go buy a house.
$150K.
Go buy a house.
So the houses over here, they are, the houses that I look around over here are like 1.2 to 1.3 million.
Well, you're not buying that house. You can't afford that. And that's not the median house price in Seattle, by the way. That is not the median house price. This is a fact I'm giving you. 1.2 is not the median house price in Seattle, Washington.
Right, but the location that I've been looking for...
You can't afford.
Yes, exactly.
So buy in a location you can afford in.
That's true. There is one catch to it, Mr. Ramsey. I think that I should tell you is, since I'm a single mom and I have no family, school district is very important to me. And really, any decent school district here is at least 1.2 million if I'm not looking at HOA. So, the HOAs themselves are $700 to $800 around a decent school district. Mm-hmm. So, if the prices are around $800K, then the HOA is around $700 to $800K a month. Otherwise, if I buy a standalone without an HOA, it is, it goes past $1.2, $1.3 million.
What do you do for a living?
So, I work as a content strategy with a company based out of Seattle.
You have paralysis of the analysis, girl. You have narrowed this decision down to where you have no movement, and there is no way on the planet that 1.2 million makes sense in your budget. You don't get a pass on math because you have a certain school district that you have locked your eyes in on. And, I do not know the school districts in Seattle, but it is hard for me to believe that 100% of the school districts in a $600,000 neighborhood, which is the median house price, by the way, half of what you're looking at, are all horrible. So your decision-making paradigm is what your problem is. It's not the real estate market, and it's not your income. You've narrowed down, you've created a fatalistic situation where you think you have to live in this one neighborhood that you can't afford to live in. And so it's like the only possible car is a Bentley. Well, and you can't afford a Bentley.
Yeah. Well, and I think also you heard in there, because I'm a single mother, I have no family. There's some false narrative stuff in there that's saying that if you don't put your kid in the absolute best school district or two, if you're ranking the top 5, you've got this idea that you're not a good mom. You're not doing for your son what you should be doing. And that, again, is a false narrative. And so once we can destroy that and look at what's behind that false narrative, Dave, it's fear. Fear that I'm not being a good mother by putting him in this school district. And now that's where we get to we're trying to rationalize, I'm paying this much for a house because I got to be a good mom.
So
that's where it gets off.
Amy, the language that you're using is as if you make $45,000 a year, not $145, which you would not have choices in Seattle, Washington, to buy in a lot of areas, most areas, at that income. If your household income is $45,000, very difficult to live in the Metroplex. In Seattle, it's an expensive market, or Denver, or Manhattan, or San Francisco. You can't. The math, you don't get a pass on math. But you make $145, and you talk like you make no money. And so, you're not rich. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you don't have problems. I'm not saying the budget isn't tight. But you've managed to save $150,000. Not buying is going to continue to watch those house prices go up faster than your savings goes up. And so I would start looking for a house that I can afford. And that's what I would do. And you're not a bad mom. So I had a young lady do a debt-free scream not long ago. Grew up with a single mom, subsidized housing in the hood. And, she makes really, really good money now. She managed to survive all of that. And her mom was a warrior princess that fought through and took care of those kids and did it on almost nothing and made almost no money. And they weren't in a great neighborhood and weren't great schools, I'm sure. And yet she comes out here and she's making 6 figures and her life is great because, her mom modeled warrior for her. And, that's what we're challenging you to do, Miss Amy. I think you can do this. Evan is in Denver. Hi, Evan. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So my wife and I are 24 years old, and we are on baby step 6.
Go ahead.
Baby step 5 doesn't apply to us, just because we don't have kids. So in the meantime, I'm trying to decide, do I want to pay off my home early or do I want to invest more? And when I do the math on it, it just, to me, at the interest rate I have, does not make any sense to pay off my home early. The opportunity cost of not investing is much greater than paying off the home early.
Okay.
And so I'd just be wondering, when I'm trying to build wealth, why should I focus on...
I'm wondering why I taught this way for 30 years and you figured out I was wrong.
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay. Well, the latest piece of data that has confirmed that this teaching is correct is that we studied the largest number of millionaires ever studied in North America, 10,167 of them. Them being millionaires was primarily consisted mathematically of 2 things. A large beefy 401k, Roth IRA, retirement plan, and good mutual funds, and a paid-for house. And a lot of them did that, and by the way, in their 30s, which you could probably still do. But if your theory is that by not paying off your house, thus borrowing on a house to become wealthy, works, why don't you borrow as much as you possibly can on the house? Borrow more than it's worth on the house at the low interest rate and invest it, if your theory works. But see, when I asked you that question, you suddenly experienced in your heart risk, which your question did not give me told me that you don't have an understanding of risk. You get your house paid off, son, your life is going to move a lot faster. chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. Kent Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Best-selling author. Open phones this hour, 888-825-5225. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Ben and Erica are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. Where do you guys live?
Visalia, California.
Whoa! Bit of a haul to Tennessee.
A little bit.
Wow. Well, welcome. Good to have you. And all the way over here to do a debt-free scream. How much did you pay off?
We paid off $429,000 in 7 years.
Yeah, like this. And your range of income during that 7 years?
We started at 65, and last year had our biggest year. We went over 300.
Whoa. What do y'all do for a living?
We're both veterinarians.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Good year to be a veterinarian. Yeah, things are... Lots of people looking at their puppies during pandemic and going, help. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow, crazy. So $429 over 7 years. That's a small amount for a mortgage in California, but was that your mortgage?
It was not. That was all student loans.
Oh, of course, two veterinarians, two DVMs. Huh? Yeah, okay, all right. It was like a mortgage.
It was.
Yeah, wow.
What a nice house we could have had.
Yeah, for real. Well, you got a great career instead.
Absolutely.
So there we go. 7 years. What started this journey?
I grew up in a Ramsey household. I didn't realize it until later. So I knew from the moment that I got a student loan, I didn't feel like I had any other option. But I knew from the moment that I got it that I wanted it gone. So I listened to the Dave Ramsey Show constantly. Brought him along for the ride, introduced him to the name. He was familiar with the principles. And then the moment we got married, we decided to go for it.
So you've been married 7 years?
We have.
All right, just like that. Knock it out.
Yep.
And that is a long time to get rid of a large student loan, but it is a large student loan.
Yes.
So you crunched your way through it. How's it feel to be free?
Oh, it's so amazing.
Incredible. Yeah.
You got to know some other docs out there that are still struggling.
Oh, yeah.
We had a lot of colleagues tell us, why are you bothering with this? Just keep it around and just pay the payments on it and live your life. But
the joke is, I always say, keep it around like it's a pet. Ha ha for a vet, right?
It's ironic.
Yeah, that's the irony of that, yeah. But yeah, the joke is the vets keep it around like it's a pet. Yeah, that's even worse. Not you guys. You got rid of old Sally Mae. You gave her eviction notice. So what is the key to paying off $429,000 in 7 years?
I think the biggest thing for us is just recognizing that it's not our money. Like, we're just stewards of what we've been graced with, and being able to just recognize that and holding money with an open hand and trusting just the whole process. We've seen that just being faithful has been so beneficial to us and to the people around us.
So you started this journey after getting married. So this is kind of, hey, we're learning how to be married, and then we're learning how to do this finance stuff the right way. I'm just curious, was there a moment in the 7 years where you finally got to a place of, okay, there's some real momentum here, despite struggles, despite stuff coming your way, you're going, okay, we see the finish line no matter what our colleagues are saying, we see this?
It actually wasn't until the last couple of years.
Wow.
So the first probably 5 years were drudgery between me being in school and him working. So he's trying to support us and do this. And then we lived overseas for a period of time and made not very much money, all things considered. And then it wasn't until really the last 2 or 3 years where we had certain loans getting under 6 digits, and we thought, okay, there's hope here.
So you caught another gear then the last half.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Way to go, guys. Very good. Way to go, heroes.
Yeah.
Man, you took control of your life. How's it feel to be free?
Oh, it's the best feeling ever.
Unbelievable, yeah.
We cried when it happened.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Now, I assume you guys work together. Is that a correct assumption, or separate businesses?
No, we're separate businesses.
Really?
I primarily do dairy cattle and beef feedlot, and Erica does small animal.
Really?
So are you in an agricultural area then of California?
We are.
Where is Visalia?
It's south of Fresno, right in the Central Valley.
Oh, yeah. You're right in the middle. Okay.
Yeah, all the dairy cows all around us.
So the best part of this season is that being debt-free has facilitated a transition for Ben out of full-time veterinary work into part-time veterinary work, part-time ministry.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Cool. Good for you guys. Well, you can do anything you want to do now, right?
Absolutely.
You're free. You don't have to serve 2 masters. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's good. Good for you guys. Well done. Well done. And you brought the kiddos. Let's have them come up. What are their names and ages?
So we have Adeline. She's 3. George is 1. And we actually have a 3rd on the way.
Hey! Who were your biggest cheerleaders outside the 2 of you while you walked through this for 7 years?
This guy over here, this is my dad. He's been a massive help and support and cheerleader for us, but really our families were all incredibly supportive through the process, which was really helpful.
Very cool. Very cool. So, yeah, if you're a financial peace baby, then Dad's definitely proud and definitely cheering you on. That's very good. Good stuff. Well done, you guys. Very well done. We've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That's the next chapter in your story for sure, how ordinary people build extraordinary wealth, how you can too. And, of course, get some help with the microphone for the baby.
It's too much of a temptation.
I love it. I know. That's why we don't put them in the shot until the very end, and I blew it. I put them up there too soon. So, but anyway, yeah, a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away and stir up a ruckus with somewhere.
That's awesome.
So good stuff. Ben and Erica, Addie, and Georgia from California, $429,000. A couple of veterinarians with both their debts cleared in 7 years, making $65 to $300. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! I love it. That is so fun. Well done, you guys. Absolutely, absolutely incredible. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Speaking of California, Debbie's in Riverside. Hi, Debbie. What's up?
Hey, how are you guys?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
So we live in California, which we hate. We're moving. But my husband and I, we just sold our home. That's a whole different story for another day. But my husband and I, we just sold our home, California Dream. We sold it for double for what we paid for it. And now our problem is I've paid, when COVID hit, I lost my job. So our credit cards got behind the big ones. That's, the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $7,000 credit lines got behind. I was still able to pay off the smaller ones. There were $20 a month, whatever. So since we just sold the house last week, I've paid off all the current credit cards, which is only like $4,000, maybe $5,000. I still have about $50,000 in student loans, and we have because of the credit cards that we stopped paying on because we couldn't afford it, we have probably about $20,000 worth of charge-offs, just stuff on our credit, and we really just want to be able to buy a home again out of state and get our credit fixed and just get back to, hopefully forever being debt-free. But, I mean, I would love to do the debt-free.
So how much proceeds do you have left from the home?
Right now we have about, before I pay off any other bills, probably about $230,000.
Okay. And you know roughly what your balances were before they were written off, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Get in touch with them. Get in touch with them and get them to give you a number in writing that is about what those balances were, that doesn't have a bunch of added stuff to it. And so if you had a card that had $10,000, don't let them try to charge you $15,000. Get them to give it in writing at this 10, and you'll pay it off, and then send them a check once you've got it in writing that the payoff is X. And you're actually going to have to argue with them to be able to get that in writing and get it paid off. If you'll give me a balance that is close to the balance that I had when this thing was written off, I will write you a check today. And you're going to have that conversation 63 times. It's going to be unbelievably aggravating, and then you'll be debt-free when you make the move. You're going to have to rent for a year. Your credit is seriously damaged. You're not going to get a mortgage. You're not going to get a mortgage except at a ridiculous subprime rate, and I would not do that. So go rent for a year, let your credit heal. You're 100% debt-free. With your rent paid on time for a year, your credit score will start to disappear, start to heal, and you can work your way through into a good mortgage at that point. So, but you're not going to make a move into a mortgage, not with what you've done to your credit. This is the Ramsey Show. Thank you for joining us, America. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Kaylee is with us in Fort Worth, Texas. Hey, Kaylee, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi there. How are y'all doing?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
Well, y'all, I'm tired. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in biology, and I'll tell y'all right now that master's in biology is the biggest mistake I ever made. I am currently working at a nonprofit as a supervisor. I've been here for about 3 years, and I really want to quit my job. I'm not enjoying my work anymore. I feel like I've been sidelined. I don't feel appreciated, but I'm too afraid to quit. I've got my husband who. He wouldn't be able to take care of all of us if I were to quit. And then I've got a 10-month-old baby boy, and so I'm not really sure where to go from here.
Well, let's first deal with the fear. There's nothing for you to be afraid of because you're not going to quit without something to walk into. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and let's remove all of that because you're not going to do that. You have responsibilities. And while you're burned out, let's be grateful in this next season, whatever that length of time is going to be. Let's focus on being grateful. That's how you hang on. I'm grateful for the check. I'm going to be a good steward of the time there because I've got to be. So stability is the thing we're grateful for.
For 30 to 60 days while you land something new.
That's it. All right.
So okay, let me ask you, before Ken goes on, let me ask you this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What do you make?
I make $15 an hour.
Okay, so you find a job that pays the equivalent of $30 an hour, doing something that, as you look at it, makes you excited and makes you smile. And you take that job and you accept the position that they offer you. There is no fear if that happens in quitting, is there?
No.
There'll be like a celebration, not fear.
Right, absolutely.
Confetti, dancing out, the whole thing, right?
Right.
Okay. Ken?
Yeah. So I think you have some ideas. And I think you're a little bit concerned about what that looks like to step into that. So let's suspend all doubt and all fear of stepping into something else. I mean, you've got 2 degrees. You have a lot of experience and you have a lot of talent. True or false?
True. I believe that's true.
Yes, you do. Okay. So what have you thought about that you're just not sure of how you would get there, but you wonder about it? You let your mind wander to say, you know what would that be like to do this kind of work? I think you have some ideas. Give me 1 or 2.
I think the main thing is I feel like I need to go outside of what I've put my education into.
And that's okay. So tell me the idea. It's possible.
Well, I love to be a stay-at-home mom. I love to do like at-home tutoring. I love to. I've had a slight inclination about going into ministry.
Okay. Why? Tell me the why. Think about the people and the problem that you want to solve for those people. I want you to just tell me that type of work. If I could pay you $30 an hour today and you're doing this type of work, what is it? Don't overthink this. It's right there. You've already let it run through your head about 3 times while we've been talking. Just say it. What would you do? Because you have to work right now. So
Right,
what would you do? What would you really enjoy doing if you knew the money was there? Say it.
I love to write.
Okay. And you love to create. You love to create content to help people. So what we've got to figure out here is what's the central problem that you're writing for or you might be in ministry for. There's a pattern here. When you say ministry, when you say tutoring, when you say writing, there's a thread that connects all of those ideas. Do you believe that?
I believe so, yeah.
I absolutely know so. So what is it? What is that writing, the ministry, the instructing, because at home tutoring is a form of coaching or instructing. So there's an equipping side of it. You want to help people move from A to B. Is that still true? Am I still on the track here with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I won't put you on the spot anymore because I know you're live and everything, but here's what I want you to hear. There is a clear connection between those 3 ideas, and it's about a certain group of people. And here's the questions you've got to answer. I'm going to give you the homework assignment, and then I'm going to give you an assessment that's going to fast forward the homework. Here's the homework. I want you to think about those 3 ideas that you named. And I want you to think, who do I really want to help? Well, now, with the at-home tutoring or tutoring students, that's a pretty clear answer. Ministry, there's an answer there. And then, of course, writing, when you write something, it's to write to entertain, or it's to write to inform, or it's to write to equip, like the kind of writing that Ramsey personalities do. So you always look at who are the people that I really want to help? What problem do they have or desire do they have that draws me into that group of people, and then the solutions to that problem or desire, therein lies the ideas for the type of work, the specific job or specific career path. Does that make sense?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so that's your homework assignment. And here's what I know. If I continually am asking, who are the people I want to help, problem I want to solve, solution I want to provide, ideas are going to present themselves, and I'm going to see things that I may not have seen before. And so what happens next is I get clear there. Now I'm looking at what do I want to do, and I choose, okay, I want to do this more than I want to do this. This is a season of life. I've got to work. When I decide that I can go home part-time and the husband and I are on the same page financially, then we can go, what's a part-time version of that same set of answers? And so that's your progression. So right now we want to get you clear on the types of jobs that you would be fulfilled in. And then we go, what do I need to do to get qualified? All right. And in those 3 things, you have to specifically look into it. What do I need to do, learn? How much is that going to cost? How long will that take? And now we can see here's a path forward, and we're not so overwhelmed.
Now, once you identify all of that, then that's going to take you all the way through the process to actually identify jobs that do those things, and then go get one of those jobs and then quit. And it'll be more at $15 an hour.
No question.
And, you've worked through the process so you don't land back in something else that's frustrating and, quote, burned out and all that kind of a thing. And so... yeah, hang on. Kelly's going to pick up. We're going to give you a copy of Ken's assessment process, and it's a $30 process to take the test, but we're giving it to you.
Yeah.
And you can take this assessment. You take it in just a few minutes, and it'll give you a real clear... the takeaways from that assessment, Ken, are really important.
Yeah, what happens is you get a full report on what you do best. We're talking about skills here, and then the type of work you love, and then what motivates you. In other words, the results that when your work produces this result at Ramsey Solutions, all of us, everybody in the building, our work produces hope, transformational content that people can use to practically change their life. And so when you get that report, then we put it in a purpose statement. And what we love about the purpose statement, Dave, is what we're hearing from people that use the assessment, is that it becomes a 30,000 foot view. Think of in an airplane. I'm looking down and I can see multiple specific jobs and those descriptions, and I look and I say, do they match up with my purpose statement? And that gives us confidence to say, okay, I know I can do this.
Now, the assessment also even throws out some possible
It actually gives you
professions.
possibilities. We hold this very loosely because it's
they're
impossible.
not assignments.
Anybody that tells you that they can predict what career you should do with an assessment is lying to you because you can't.
They can cause you to predict it.
They can allow you to look.
Yeah,
And we
exactly.
give you suggestions, and so it's a wonderful tool. Let's also, Kelly, give her the book From Paycheck to Purpose, because this is the companion, if you will. Once you know the mountaintop you want to scale, this will help guide you up the mountain. But I will tell you, Dave, there's one other suggestion here. When I hear that somebody's really burned out, there's a lot of factors going on. And if we know we don't want to stay there, but we're just looking for a bridge, you can go get a better paying job that is temporary, day job, meaning I'm not invested in it, but it's going to pay me $25, $30 an hour as a bridge while I'm seeking the ultimate path.
Yeah.
That's a suggestion.
You can go do that. I probably would give 30 days a job hunt or 45 days a job hunt for the main position first.
Sure.
But if that doesn't work, like by the end of the summer, by September, I'll just take a $25 an hour job at Target.
Yeah.
Because that's stinking what they're paying these days.
Right.
So get your 40 hours and you can feed your family while you land in the big job again. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books.
Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from the Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create amazing relationships. Thank you for being here, America. Ken is going to start off this hour. He's in Houston, Texas. If I was to push the right button, he would be. There he is. Hey, Ken, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I'm going to graduate college in about 3 weeks, and I have a few uncertainties, and I wanted your opinion on planning, basically, what I'm going to be doing for the fall. To start out, I'm looking for a government or a state job. I plan on probably teaching high school or some type of education. And I'm in a unique situation right now where I'm fortunate enough to have a house basically paid off and in my name. But my problem is, as a new adult, I've always wanted to move out into my own space. And I know inflation is up right now, but I was trying to see if it's a smart idea to possibly rent out my current residency and look for a place to stay on my own, or if I should just stay put and start saving for something more long-term.
Okay, you said you want to live on your own, but you have a house that's paid for. Who's living in the house with you?
My dad lives here with me, but it's like I'm here most of the time by myself. The reason I want to move out is just because of the area it's in, really.
Where's your dad gonna go?
He has another place that he stays. He really just comes to visit weekly just to make sure I'm doing okay.
Is the house in your name?
Yes.
Sell it?
Mm-hmm. Where do you want to move to?
Well,
Are you in a rough area or just an area you grew up in and you're just looking for change? I mean, where do you want to go to? And then what's the cost of living analysis there? How close is it? Give us a little bit more information there.
well, it's just the house I grew up in, but it's a low income area, so it just comes with those type of problems. It's just it's one of those areas where you can't just go outside and take a walk,
Okay. You need to sell it. You need to sell it.
Okay.
It's not going to get better.
But
You're not going to live in it. It's not going to be a great piece of real estate to own because of the area. You need to sell it and take the money and start your fresh life. So you're 22 or 23?
Okay, and yes, I'm 22. I'm turning 23 at the end of the summer.
Cool. What's your degree in?
Sociology with a minor in education.
Okay. And why work for the state?
Well, I know the state has, I've not heard, but I've heard the state has good benefits, and I want to do something in social work and help people.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's something I'd probably or most likely find high satisfaction in as a career.
Mm-hmm. Okay, when are you getting this job? Because you graduate in 3 weeks.
Yeah, right now I'm in the last 3 weeks, so I'm crunching down on my last assignments, and one of my sociology advisors is going to help me start, applying for jobs.
Yeah, you're like 6 months late on that. You should already be doing that.
Oh, okay.
What are you using for food money now?
Basically, right now I'm living off savings, and I wanted to basically do that until I had my degree. So, and get something established on some ground. So basically, something a stable income. I've been trying to get my degree and then start living on a stable income. And once I've started my stable income, I was debating on whether it would be a good idea to move out and start living on my own off of that, or if I should just stay where I'm at.
No, you should leave, and you should. I've already told you that. You should leave, and you should sell the house, and you should buy a house. That you start your whole fresh life over. You've been through something really traumatic that gave you a bunch of money. What happened?
Well, basically, when I was younger, my mom passed away.
And that left you a bunch of money?
It was me and a couple other family members, but it was. I'm sorry, hold on.
It's okay.
It was enough to stay secure or somewhat on my feet throughout college.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I was hearing the heaviness in your voice, and then I hear you got a paid-for house and a pile of money that you're living on, and you're 23, so I knew something was up. Those were my clues, okay? But the heaviness in your voice was my first clue. So, Ken, I think your voice is going to brighten up because your life is going to brighten up when this horrible event is put as far in the rearview mirror as you can put it in the rearview mirror. Not to say it didn't happen, and not to say it doesn't hurt. It does hurt, but you've been being defined by this for a long time, and living off the savings and living in that house is trapping you in this event. So I want you living on your own income and in a different house with that house sold as soon as possible to brighten your life up and to move past this horrible thing that has happened to you, okay?
Okay, I have one follow-up question now. I've had this thing where I haven't wanted to seriously considered exactly what area I wanted to have a house in because...
Just go rent. Just go rent something.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
For a year until you get settled into your new job. And I want you to go ahead and start working on that new job as soon as you get off the phone. Yeah. And we're going to send you a copy of Ken's book, From Paycheck to Purpose.
Yeah, I would just add two things. On the living space, Houston's a really large area, a lot of nicer places. What I want you to do is go explore. Go literally drive around. I think you've been through a lot of trauma and you've been head down on this degree. Let's go explore a little bit. The second thing is don't just rely on your college advisor to help you apply. I want you looking in those areas where you may want to live in. Where are some social working type jobs? And let's begin to go investigate and talk to people and meet some folks and see what's out there. This is a fresh start that you need. I wouldn't wait anymore. I'd make it your full-time assignment. Go, go, go. The best is yet to be.
We're going to send you a copy of John Deloney's new book as well. Own Your Past, Change Your Future, because that's exactly what we're talking to you about. Owning your past and changing your future. This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
It is book launch week. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Dr. John Deloney's new book. Wow. Own Your Past, Change Your Future. I just gave away one a minute ago. Is now available for purchase. John is out on the road again and doing the book tour thing. Very cool stuff. And we've got him on the line to check in Phoenix, Arizona. Dr. John, how's Phoenix?
It is beautiful and hot. How are you guys?
It is hot. It is definitely hot this time of the year. We're great. What have you been doing today?
We did some radio stops and a stop at a local TV station, and now we are at a beautiful movie theater, the Majestic here, and we're going to spend the afternoon with the Dutch Brothers. Having a good time.
All right. Dutch Brothers Coffee is a wonderful organization, and they've been good friends to the Entree Leadership team for a long time, and they asked you to come in and speak, right?
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, very cool stuff. And tonight John will be doing a book signing there in Phoenix, Arizona, Barnes & Noble, Desert Ridge Marketplace, Tatum Boulevard, and that's at 6 o'clock tonight, Thursday night, April the 21st. You KTAR listeners run out and see Dr. John Deloney. There'll be a bunch of folks out there, and John will be talking for a few minutes, I guess, and doing a little Q&A maybe, right?
Yes, sir. We'll be talking for a few minutes, doing some Q&A, and then signing everybody's books and taking some pictures and just laughing and having a good old time.
Very cool. Fun stuff. Well, the media has certainly accepted the premise on this new book. The public certainly has. It has sold. We've sold tens of thousands of them in the pre-sale process, and, of course, it officially went on sale on Tuesday. Congratulations on having a big hit.
Thank you so much, and it's not lost on me that the listeners here have just been so great and responsive, and so on behalf of me and all the team that worked on this and you, thank you all so much for your support and for picking the book up.
So the book is called Own Your Past, Change Your Future. Remind the audience what they get, what the book is about, what we're talking about there.
Really, I get calls from all over the country and direct messages and emails. Hey, can I be your therapist, or can I sit down and coach people, or would you sit with me and my spouse? And really, this book is what I would say. This is 2 decades worth of sitting with people, and really me having to talk to professionals myself along the way, because I've had my own struggles and trying to figure out being a dad and reading the right books and talking to my wife. How are we going to figure out how to own what has happened to us and ask that one scary, terrifying question, what happens now? What do I do next, right? And so that's what this book is. It's teaching us how to own what happened and then make the next right step.
Yeah, own your past, change your future. And we just had a young man on in an earlier segment, Ken and I did, who had obviously, we didn't get into the details, but obviously been through a lot of trauma and had a huge financial settlement as a result, and it was weighing him down. The whole process was weighing him down, and we actually gave him a copy of the book because, the whole idea of owning his past and yet changing his future, not being defined by the event, the trauma.
That's right. It may be the most common thing I hear is I just feel stuck. I feel stuck, especially after the last few years. I just feel like I'm going through the motions. Me and my wife are just going through the motions. Me and my kids, me and my local schools, me and my local whatever, just going through the motions. How do I get unstuck? What do I do next? Yeah, that's what this book is for you if you're stuck.
John, I can't help but think that when readers get this and they understand what you've just said, that at the beginning of the arduous process of trying to own the past, that's hard work, and you show people how to do it. But there's such a bright future on the other side, isn't there?
Yeah, that's the thing that I really want to get through on this. This is a book about hope. This is a book basking in the light at the end of this tunnel. Most of us just don't realize we're in a tunnel, right? And you and I have talked about this just personally. We just come to accept that life, as we get older, the light just gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. And I'm just calling nonsense on that. There is hope out there. And when you own it, and then you can begin to take those steps into the light, man, such a great experience.
It's true.
No, wait. Don't walk toward the light.
Yeah. Not you, Dave.
Don't tell people my age to walk toward the light, okay?
Yeah, not you. Me and Ken can walk towards the light.
Let me tell you something, John. If he says he starts seeing the light right now, you're going to see me tackle him, hug him, do something to get that light to go away.
You call 911, Ken. You and I are young enough to walk towards the light. Dave needs to stay put.
Close enough. Got a front row seat, baby. Phoenix, Arizona, Dr. John Deloney. The new book is Own Your Past, Change Your Future. He'll be signing it tonight at the Desert Ridge Marketplace, Tatum Boulevard, Barnes & Noble. Be out there at 6 o'clock. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll learn, you can ask questions, and, of course, pick up a copy of the book and get it signed by the author himself. His 2 PhDs, his 20 years of crisis counseling and working in high stress scenarios is really giving him some insight that'll be helpful to any of us, regardless of 100% of us have something in our past we need to own, that we don't need to stuff and act like it's not there. It's like a splinter. As our friend Les Parrott says, he says, when you bury feelings like that, they have a high rate of resurrection. So, they'll come back up, and they'll come back up in the worst possible ways. And so getting on with your life by owning your past, changing your future is what Dr. John Deloney's all about. So be sure and check him out. John, we're very proud of you, brother. Yeah. Congratulations.
I'm grateful for you too, and for everybody listening who picked up a copy. And it's been a humbling process, man. I'm really grateful.
Hey, John, tell those guys at Dutch Bros that Ken wants a bag of coffee. If you can stuff one of those in your suitcase on the way back, that'd be great.
Oh, I'm going to bring back. I'm going to get a second suitcase. I'm bringing some coffee back.
There we go.
I'm going to pick up one at the flea market.
Just one for me. That'd be great.
All right, John. Thank you, brother. Congratulations. Very, very well done. All right. One of the most important types of insurance you can have is car insurance. It's actually the law, by the way. Most Americans don't have enough car insurance. Sometimes they're paying too much for the wrong stuff, and you might be one of them. If you get in an accident, this is not the time to find out you don't have enough coverage. You need to get coverage right now and have it checked out. You don't want thousands of dollars to be a problem because of $20 a month, or you could even be saving $20 a month and getting more insurance. So here's the deal. This is why we created a network of endorsed local providers that are Ramsey trusted. These are licensed, independent insurance agents that will shop a bazillion companies and get you the best possible coverage at the cheapest possible price. The average person calling and getting a quote saves an average of $700 a year on their car and homeowners insurance. Get in touch with them. Go to RamseySolutions.com/auto, and you can connect with a Ramsey trusted ELP. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. You get free samples, free shipping, and new promos all the time. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
Today's question comes from Cody in North Carolina. I was recently married, and we just found out we have a baby on the way. I'm in my second year of selling real estate, and my projected sales goal would provide enough money to pay the bills. My concern is whether or not I meet my goal. I have experience in plumbing and have an opportunity to go back into that field at $20 to $25 an hour. If real estate goes well for me this year, I could make much more, but I'm not sure if the risk is worth it. The downside of plumbing is I would always be on call. Worrying about making enough money has enveloped my life. Which path should I take? Well, Dave, I don't know where you're going to go on this one, but I think Cody needs to stop worrying about what won't happen and focus on what could happen. This is a guy who you've got plumbing to fall back on, Cody, so there's actually nothing to really be afraid of. If for some reason, and I can't find a viable reason other than you just deciding not to be committed and convicted and get after it and meet those goals, you could fall back to plumbing. And the trades are very much hot. They need qualified people. You could potentially pick up some side work plumbing as well. But I just don't think that's going to be necessary. I think you're fearful because all of a sudden we got a baby on the way, but you have a bright future. I'd focus all that energy on providing for that baby, not worrying about not meeting my goals.
Is your goal realistic? Did you make zero last year and you set $100,000 as your goal this year? Oh, that would not be true unless something bizarre happens. So you need to ask yourself what has to be true for you to hit this goal. If what has to be true is reasonable, then you keep doing the real estate. If you're living a fairy tale, then you go do some plumbing for a while. You got to feed the baby. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Alan and Anya are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Great. Doing great.
Welcome. Where do you guys live?
Long Beach, California.
All the way to Nashville to do a debt-free scream. How much did you pay off?
$690,000.
Woo-hoo-hoo! And how long did this take?
9 years, 11 months.
Wow. Ooh, suspiciously like 10 years. Wow. And your range of income during the decade?
We started right around 200, and last year we were up over 400, and with a lot of overtime. So now we're backing it back down again.
Good for you. What do you guys do for a living? My goodness.
I'm a Ramsey certified financial coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I operate heavy equipment in the port of Long Beach.
Ah, yeah, both of you doing well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And working a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of people waiting on you. kind of had a line back up there.
Yeah, I did my best.
It wasn't your fault. But yeah, that was a deal, man.
I was thinking the same thing about all those ships that were lined up. Is that still the case, or is it?
No.
Okay, good.
You got caught up, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of OT though, huh?
Absolutely.
I bet. So, what kind of debt was the $690,000? Is that the house?
It was a little bit of everything. We had a credit card, we had a HELOC, we had a truck loan, and we had
personal loan.
Oh yeah, we had a personal loan.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had 3 mortgages.
3 mortgages. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Why not?
It's California.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
All right. So you're 100% debt-free, house and everything.
Everything.
Yep. We're looking at weird people. I love it. Congratulations, you guys, and a decade of hustle and grind.
Ooh.
Like you said, it's a marathon.
Yeah, for real. That's amazing. So tell us the story. What starts you on a decade-long journey to be 100% free?
Our church, Arbor Road Church in Long Beach, was offering FPU.
Yep.
And they had free childcare. So we had a 3 and a 7-year-old at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounded like a night off for me. Right.
Yeah.
So I said, let's do this.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, dear.
Yeah, good man.
So free babysitter, that's the hook. Okay,
That's the hook.
Who knew? Yeah, there we go. All right. And you go in there and you go, okay, my night off just turned into, I now have an assignment.
Absolutely.
Well, it's all about the communication. That's, that's the key to it, really. It's about setting that time aside and being intentional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big deal. Congratulations. So do you remember back 10 years ago, the lessons, there were 13 lessons then.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How far into the class before you went, oh, game on, we got to do this?
I'm pretty stubborn. I took the class twice.
Okay. So the second time you were going through it, how far into the Okay.
About halfway through.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You remember the light switch going on?
Yes, I do.
The little light bulb over your head, cha-chink, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember those moments in my life at different things. Yeah. It's pretty incredible. And so, how long have you been a Ramsey coach, Anya?
I started last year. I've led 4 sessions of FPU, and then I said, I need to dig deeper into this and do the coaching. It's just what I need to do. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. It's obviously working, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for all the help and the leading of this. And so you said the key to getting out is intentionality and communication. What about you, Alan? What do you say the key to getting out is?
For me, it was about legacy. I came from some challenges in my life, and if I can do it, anyone can do it. And so to break that chain and to create a legacy, that was my why.
Changing the family tree.
Yes.
For our listening audience, Alan is holding a classic that Dave has talked about for decades, The Tortoise and the Hare, the children's book. That's a good-looking edition there. I got to set you up. You brought that for a reason. You've been holding on to it. Why does that mean so much to you to bring it today?
Well, 10 years is a long time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think,
But slow and steady wins the race.
Yes.
And we're 40 years old when we started this, and now we're positioned to retire inspired.
Yeah. You have 0 debt, house or anything. You live in California. Hello. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yep.
That's a big deal. You make really good money, and you have not a payment in the world.
Nope.
Was it worth it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's a long run.
It is.
Long run. How's it feel to be free?
It's amazing. Knowing that he can work or not work. He can retire early. We can spend more time at the vacation home in Arizona. Spending more time with our grandkids as well. So.
Yeah, there we go. Game on.
Yep.
Good job, you guys. Very, very good job. Outside of the two of you, outside your family, who was the biggest cheerleaders?
We have our kids here with us. My mom was a really big supporter. We had a lot of friends who thought that it was a great idea for us.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're taking out new 30-year mortgages at our age. And so a friend of ours gave us a little gift of a unicorn when we paid off our first mortgage in 2019 because there really wasn't anyone around us, doing that. So, we've tried to encourage people.
Yeah.
We can do it. Anyone can do it.
Absolutely. Southern California, it's such a rat race. Everyone's caught up like a hamster in a wheel. And concepts like peace, contentment, and freedom, they're foreign when you're on that wheel. And when you're on the other side, it's unexplainable.
You said something, Alan, earlier I don't want the audience to miss. I'm just curious how you would explain to us. You said you had a tough past is basically what I heard. You had a really interesting past, and you said if I can do it, anybody can do it. What are you taking away from that? What do you mean? What do you want the audience to understand about that?
When right after I met him, in the mid-'90s, he was homeless. And
behind drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. And, just knowing that just one foot in front of the other, support from those around you, anything's possible.
Yeah. For a point in my 20s, I got into mountain climbing, and I found it's better not to look at the summit, just look at what's in front of you, one step after another.
Oh, wow. That's good.
It took 10 years, but we're here.
You're on top of the mountain.
Absolutely.
Well, I got to tell you, man, when you come through that, how sweet it is! I love it. Congratulations, man. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Woo! Man, I'm fired up. Yeah, I'm with you. You've conquered some serious stuff in your life. This debt was just another one.
Absolutely.
One more down. I like it. It's a warrior.
Yeah, right after we finished the FPU class, actually, we had a major disaster at our vacation home in Arizona, and a flood came through town that was about a 100-year flood, and the water came up to the windows, and so we got knocked down a few times along the way. It's not an easy road, but you just keep getting up.
Yeah.
You just keep doing it day after day.
Yeah, that's powerful. Very good stuff, you guys. All right, bring the guys in. What are their names and ages?
So we have Aiden, who is 18, and we have Aaron, who is 14.
All right, perfect stuff. Yeah, that's the 3-year-old there. Now he's 13. I love it.
Yep.
Good stuff. All right, we got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. You're probably already that with that real estate paid for in California. How ordinary people build extraordinary wealth, how you can too, and also a copy of Total Money Makeover. You can give that away in your coaching and stir up a ruckus with somebody. We're so proud of you guys. You're amazing people. What heroes.
Thank you.
Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Very nice. $690,000 paid off in 9 years and 11 months, making $200 to $400. Alan and Anya, Aiden and Aaron from Long Beach, 100% debt-free. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! This is the Ramsey Show. Thank you for joining us, America. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. Brianna is with us in Orlando. Hi, Brianna. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you guys?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
I was calling because my husband and I were recently talking about our finances and whether or not we should pay our medical bills first or take care of the credit card debt and things of that such. And he mentioned that we don't need to pay the medical bills because they are going to fall off in 7 years. And I was like, well, I don't really think that's true. So we were debating on that, and I was like, well, let's just call Dave. And he's like, great.
Great. Great.
Oh, terrific.
I'm taking you to the principal's office. Great. Okay, well, the answer is yes and no, okay?
Yes.
The medical bills, the debt does not go away in 7 years. You still owe it morally and legally. And they still can pursue you after 7 years. What the 7-year mark is, the yes part is, it does come off of your credit bureau report if there's been no activity on it for 7 years. Any credit that is at activity, it restarts the 7-year clock. But all credit, good and bad, comes off of your credit bureau report after 7 years, except a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which stays on 10 years. But that does not mean that you don't owe the money, and it does not mean that they can't come after you legally, and it does not mean they won't hassle the crap out of you or the stupid thing pop back up in some way just about the time you're trying to buy a house or something. So you do need to take care of them.
Okay.
How old are they?
Well, just about 2 years. They're from when
so we're talking about we're going to sit around on our butts for 5 years and hope they disappear? Bad plan, yeah. Okay. So how much debt is there? How much medical debt is there?
$3,500.
Oh, it's nothing. What do you guys make?
Yeah. $55 a year. $55,000 a year.
Okay.
So it's tight. We're also paying $16,000 on student loan debt. We've got a little bit in a credit card. So we're just also trying to look into buying a home for our family, and we're growing. So, yeah. And I'm a stay-at-home mom and just want to help in some way. So I thought the best thing I could do is just kind of start tackling all this stuff. So,
okay. All right. So here's what the two of you need to sit down tonight, put the kids to bed, and you're going to have a better dream than you've got. Your dream for your life is awfully small, and I want you to dream a little bigger.
Okay.
Because you and I both know you're too broke to buy a house anytime soon.
Yeah. We're in a 1-bedroom right now, and we were trying to do the live like no one else so we can live like no one else, but the kids just keep getting bigger, and we can't.
Yeah. So now what you've got to do is you have to get real serious about it, and it's not just cutting your lifestyle. It's now getting on a written budget and making every dollar behave, listing these debts smallest to largest, attacking them in that order, and he needs to be on board about that too. Right now, it's just you doing it, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I can feel it. You're carrying the weight of it. You're the one trying to get this car started, and he's going, well, it does not pay the bill. They'll go away. So he's going to be looking at some extra work, and you're going to be looking at some extra work in and around you being at home with the kids. I don't know what that is. It could be something you can do while they're napping or something else. There's all kinds of ways to create income. Ken, what are some of the best ways you've seen people create income in a stay-at-home situation like that?
Well, we saw through the pandemic, Dave, a lot of jobs that bubbled up where they were all remote. And so now with the little ones, that does present some challenges, but it depends on the type of work. If it is customer service work, when she's on the phone with people and the kids may be going crazy, that would not work per se. However, if it's data entry or a lot of women are making really good money, Dave, now as remote executive assistants. And so they can do a lot of scheduling, a lot of things over email. I start to look at things like that for a stay-at-home mom where there are 4 or 6 hours, maybe even steal 2 or 3 hours a night once the babies are in bed. Now that is going to be tiring, but on the other side of this is freedom.
Stuck in a 1-bedroom with bills hanging over your head's tiring too.
Yes, it is. And boy, that'll motivate you to work those hours, because then you start to go, why am I working all these crazy hours? To get out of this 1-bedroom, to get out of this paycheck to paycheck living that is so stressful.
Because here's the thing. What you're describing to us, Brianna, is $20,000 changes your life.
That's correct.
You'd be debt free.
Yeah. Now I'm just going to use this
$20,000. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a part-time job for 1 year.
Right. He makes 55, I believe she said.
She did.
Okay. So just to give you an example, Walmart right now, Dave, is advertising nationally on this. They're paying truck drivers starting at $90,000 to $110,000 a year driving a truck. Now, I'm not saying that's his career and his long-term life, but I'm saying, okay, what could we do for a year or 2 years to radically change our future? And this is the hottest job market we've ever been in. So yes, we want to reduce expenses. We want to get on a budget. But what could he do to get serious, to say we're going to change our family tree and raise his income from 55 to 75 to 85? If she can make 15 to 20, as you said, all of a sudden.
1 year, you're free.
1 year.
Not 5, with a thing hanging over your head later and coming back and getting you.
100%. And if he's sitting in front of me right now, I'd tough love him. I'd say, look, bro, in 2 months or less, I could show you how to pay off that $3,500 medical bill in 2 months. 2 months of extra work.
Yeah, you can deliver pizza. You're done.
Walmart and Target are paying all shifts starting at $20 an hour. Amazon offering $20 an hour. Fulfillment centers all over the place. And listen, if you have a pulse, they'll hire you.
Yeah.
So the entry levels, what I'm trying to say is realistically.
Even the pulse is questionable.
I knew as soon as I said that. And you know what? If you've been to Walmart late at night, hey, all right, never mind. But here's the point. There is an opportunity right now to go to work.
Yeah.
And Gazelle Intensity includes working a lot of hours. We talk to couples, we talk to individuals all the time on that debt-free stage over there.
But that's the dream. See, the dream is $20,000 gets you out of debt. Another $10,000 is your emergency fund. Now we're saving for a house. So right. $20,000 gets you out of debt. $20,000 more gets you in an emergency fund and a down payment.
Yeah, and then before you know it, we funded our kids' future.
Yeah, and now we've changed our family tree. And now we have a legacy. So, but that and then and when you think like that, your whole spirit, your body, everything raises up, and you have a different view. And then you go, 3,500 is holding me back.
Yeah,
it's nothing. It's not 350,000. It's 3,500. But what that tells me is when that's overwhelming you, that you're not above it. You're not. You're laying under it.
Isn't it true?
And so there's this perception thing.
Yeah. And
that's hope.
That's exactly right. You know, I think of, I remember a few years ago, Dave, my kid went to a youth group event at church, and they had this mud run. And at one point, he stepped in this really deep area of mud, and I was watching and laughing. My wife's like, go help the kid. I'm like, no, he's got to figure it out. But the point was, I watched my son, Dave. He got stuck for a moment. And just like this financial stuckness we're here on this call, what he's doing is, all he's doing is looking around him. He's always thinking is, I'm stuck, and this is awful, and I'm embarrassed, and whatever a kid thinks of in that moment. And that's what you're talking about. It's like, oh, we're month to month, and we'll just have to put the bills off. Blah, blah. That's looking around ourselves when we're stuck, as opposed to looking up going, okay, who can help me? Is there a limb I can grab? And Financial Peace University and the budget and the baby steps are that helping hand to where you can essentially pull yourself out. That's what you got to be focused on, is how do I get out? Not, I just got to stay alive.
Yeah. Hope deferred makes the heart sick.
Yeah.
But when desire comes, it is the tree of life. It's the difference. It really is the difference. And so when you set a really nice, big, fat, juicy dream and you do it in high definition, HD, lots of clarity on what the dream smells like, what it feels like, what it touches, the way it looks, the way other people see it, then all of a sudden everything starts to move for you. And that's what's going on here, Brianna. That's what's going on. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's John Deloney, co-host of The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? A lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, go to RamseySolutions.com/show.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about building wealth, doing work you love, and creating amazing relationships. It's book launch week here at Ramsey. Dr. John Deloney on the road with his brand new book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. It is selling, we've sold tens of thousands of copies. It's been an incredible week. Thank you for your response to it. Dr. Deloney is doing a book signing tonight for those of you in KTAR country in Phoenix. He'll be at the Tatum Boulevard Barnes & Noble at 6 p.m. tonight, answering questions, doing a talk, and signing your books, doing pictures, whatever else we need to do. It's all there. So come out if you're in the Phoenix market. Thanks for joining us. Open phones again, as I said, 888-825-5225. Rob is in Denver to start off this particular hour. Hey, Rob, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Awesome. My current life insurance company won't let me add my 14-year-old type 1 diabetic son as a rider on my life insurance. So I started a new application and process with Xander, and I hope to get him covered. My bigger concern is that being a type 1 diabetic, it seems to make sense to prepare him with a life insurance policy now that carries him into his adult years. The Xander rep I was working with said I can't get him his own term policy until he's 18. I'm worried the older he gets, the more expensive and harder it will be to get his own policy. He's healthy otherwise. He's an athlete, active, and involved. Any recommendations?
I wouldn't worry about it now. In terms of starting to think that far into the future, some strategies you can do. But no, I would, even if you could buy life insurance today, I wouldn't. Because the 14-year-old does not create an income that is, in the event of his in a horrible event of his passing, you would miss him, obviously, but you would not be losing an income that the family counts on. And so I wouldn't worry about that. I'd make sure you have your emergency fund in place for medical needs and that you're taking care of him, of course, with your medical insurance, all those kinds of things in place. That's more important than anything else right now. And it sounds like he's doing a good job of treating and living his proper lifestyle and those kinds of things, which is vital for a diabetic. Diabetes, as you are discovering, is actually as bad or worse than cancer or a heart attack for someone to get life insurance. And that's because that's because the long-term prognosis, it affects the death rate among that population. And so
absolutely,
as he starts to move into adulthood and starts to take on responsibilities and people are counting on his income, a couple of things he can do. Number one, I would continue to check with, 10 years from now, okay, when he's 24. He's out of school. He's got his first job. He could check with Xander because the life insurance world is changing every single day on what it will cover. Stuff that they wouldn't even talk about covering 30 years ago, they cover now and don't even think about it. Because they've just got better statistical actuarial numbers on say a cancer survivor or certain types of heart procedures, and they've got better data on it that take the fear out of them having to write a check is what they're worried about always. So anyway, keep checking back, number one. Number two, there is a process in the life insurance world for adults called a guaranteed issue. They're typically smaller policies, and they're typically about 5 to 10x what normal term is, expensive. But you can get a $10,000 policy, a $20,000 policy. An example of a big one is you can get mortgage life insurance, which I do not recommend you get if you're insurable. Buy term insurance, it's 1/5 the cost. But if you buy mortgage life insurance through your mortgage company, it's a gimmick insurance, but it's almost always guaranteed issue, meaning that there's no medical. They just cover you. Period. But it's about 5x. So if you got a $200,000 policy on a $200,000 mortgage, you're going to pay 5 times for it what you would have paid for a $200,000 term policy. Okay? Still not bad. And still you got at least the mortgage taken care of if you died with a couple of little kids and a wife, right? So you go get those things until you build enough wealth. And then the last thing, of course, is to stay out of debt and become wealthy as quickly as possible and become self-insured. He's got $1 million in mutual funds and no debt at all when he's 35. He doesn't need life insurance. His wife will be okay.
And if he's winning financially, if it is a little bit more expensive than maybe for the rest of us, he can still afford it. Dave, I love your advice of checking back later. There's no way to make predictions on this, Rob, but I'm not kidding you. I listen to an enormous amount of sports radio in the car, and I kid you not, I heard a company the other day advertising on this very issue. So I think the ball continues to move You know what I mean? I mean, Xander and other insurance companies, they're going to be options. And if he's financially secure, he's going to be able to afford it.
If you're hearing something on sports radio, it's probably a guaranteed issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's it's probably not a policy that you would get unless you're uninsurable.
Yeah.
But if you're uninsurable, then there's you can backfill with a few of these expensive policies.
Right.
Great savings plans. Yep. Great budgeting. Not building up a bunch of expenses that are left behind if something happened to you. And, of course, most of all, managing your health.
That's it.
And
sounds like he's a very healthy young athlete.
It sounds like he's got parents that are on the ball because it's everything to do with diabetes is tremendously affected by lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I'm not a medical person, but I've been around the insurance side of this thing for a long time, and we see it all the time. So that's what you're looking for. But he's going to be okay, Rob, and because he's got a great dad and mom, and it's not going to be something that that's going to be easy. It's not a hot knife through butter to take care of, but you can do those things and take care of it for sure. Good question. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Now, again, I'm not an expert on diabetic anything, but a lot of the things that drive life insurance prices are under your control.
That's correct.
Smoking and obesity are the two biggest things that will cause your life insurance to double or triple. And these are two things that are under control, your control.
It makes me think of Jay Cutler, of Nashville native, played at Vanderbilt, went on to play in the NFL, type 1 diabetes, played in the NFL. I mean, he took care of himself, still does, So you can, while it is a serious disease, I have a first cousin who has it, but she manages it well. And there are ways that you can be healthy even with that condition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you quit smoking for a year.
Yeah.
You get your life insurance half off.
It's the truth, yeah.
Half off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty stinking incredible.
Yeah.
So these are things you control, and it's weird how all of these things, in that case, not in Rob's son's case, type 1 at 14 is not that. It's not the case. It's not a lifestyle problem.
That's right.
But you can control a lot of stuff out there, folks. This is the Ramsey Show.
If you're considering a career in technology, I recommend Bethel Tech, and I'm not alone. Here's what Brendan said. Before Bethel Tech, I was driving Uber. Within 4 months of graduating, I got a job paying $60,000. About 2 years after that, I got a remote job that pays me $130,000, all thanks to what I learned at Bethel Tech. You could be next. Get started today at BethelTech.net and get $1,000 to $2,500 off of your tuition. Again, it's BethelTech.net/Ken Coleman.
It is not good that man be alone. I'm so excited we can go to football games again.
Yes.
I'm so excited that we can do our events again in these arenas.
We're back.
Yeah, we've been doing them for a while now. We're going to be in Las Vegas May the 5th doing an event. We'll be in Orlando in May doing an event and doing our Entree Leadership Summit in Orlando in May. It's almost sold out, like 4 tickets left of that thing available. And guess what? The SMART Conference is back. And what happens if you go to SMART Conference, Ken?
You get really smart, Dave.
That's exactly what happens. See, just like that. October 22nd in Dallas this fall. Tickets are on sale now. Ken Coleman will be there. He'll be talking about getting a career, a job that you love, that you're passionate about, and that you make more than you ever made in your life. Yay! All the Ramsey personalities will be speaking. We'll be speaking on personal growth, on leadership, on, of course, money. Of course, Dr. John Deloney will be there with information out of the new book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. Pretty incredible stuff. And our special guests will be Craig and Amy Groeschel from Life Church. He's the pastor of one of America's largest churches, and they'll be doing a session on marriage. It's going to be incredible. Tickets are just $39. It is over half sold out already. I know October 22nd sounds like it's a long way away, but you guys know that all of the concerts and all of the sporting events are selling out early, and so we're no exception here at Ramsey. So get your tickets right now before they sell out. Go to RamseySolutions.com/events. I'm so pumped. This is so cool. Life is so good. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Rebecca is with us. Rebecca is in Indianapolis. Hi, Rebecca. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I'm the CFO of a small business, and I would like to know how Ramsey or other businesses that you know are determining what fair pay is now, considering the recent inflation. Most businesses can't afford to just do a sweeping 8% payroll increase across the board, and even if they can, it doesn't mean that that increase is appropriate for all the roles, but employees and managers don't really want to hear that. So I'm just curious what other people are doing.
Well, to start with, I would reset the table on the people that work for you. Okay? People at Ramsey hear me say regularly, your raise is effective when you are. We have never given an inflation raise in the history of this company, nor will we. Okay? Well, you are paid for based on two things inside of our company. You are paid what the position pays in the marketplace. And that's fair, and that's right. And truthfully, anybody that's got a job out there, you're paid what you can be replaced for, with rare exceptions. No one pays you twice what you can be replaced for. They pay you what you can be replaced for. That's cold, hard facts. I know it's mean. I know it's nasty, but welcome to adult land. Okay? You get paid what you can be replaced for, number one. Number two, part of what affects what you can be replaced for is how good at what you are at what you do, how excellent you are at what you do. And that makes it harder to replace you. And so excellence and killing it and dragging it home, when you're adding value to an organization, they want to add value to your paycheck. And so we are adjusting our comp around here, and we've had some pretty dramatic upward adjustments in some categories based on what that position pays in the marketplace. Because the cost to hire a project manager, the cost to hire a Dev 2, a Dev 3 developer that writes code, a cost to hire an administrative assistant has gone up pretty dramatically in the last 24 months. More than any 24 month I remember in 30 years of doing business. Okay? And Ken, you've seen this in the career data. Yeah. So the first thing you need to do is keep a comp study going and really know what each position, what you'd have to pay if you were going to replace that person, because the marketplace is now, if you are a Dev 2, you can demand X. And if you're a senior level software engineer, you're six figures plus, maybe 200,000 plus. And so that's what you can get somewhere else. And so if I don't pay you that, you're going to leave and go take that. And so that's the way the business is you do that. Now, but that doesn't mean we give everybody 8% raises because the news says inflation went up 8%. You can't afford to do that, number one. Number two, it's not fair. Number three, it doesn't make sense from a business perspective. No. From a business perspective, as the CFO, your job in hiring is to get a rate of return on every dollar of payroll. And that's based on their productivity, not based on inflation.
That's right. And I want to add in really quick, Rebecca, listen, to help, and by the way, you need to communicate this, but the reality is let's play this out. They think that they should get a bump for inflation, so if we play that reasoning out, that means you take it away as soon as inflation begins to subside, and they wouldn't be cool with that either. So compensation is never built on, and should not be built on, inflationary pressures in the economy. It's about profit and loss, and as Dave said, value, and it's the marketplace does set the bar. The marketplace does. And so I would tell you this is not a compensation or inflation issue. What you have is a leadership issue, and this is hard, but you've got to communicate this properly to your team. And one of the ways that you need to do this is I would really engage with Smart Dollar. Ramsey Solutions, there's nothing comes close to what we offer the business marketplace in helping their employees get control of their finances like we do with individuals on this show. Every day, we help business leaders help their team get financial peace in the form of Smart Dollar, and it's one of the most sought-after benefits throughout the nation. And I've been on Fox Business News with Maria Bartiromo talking about this. This is one of the greatest benefits that leaders can offer in a time like this, because here's what we know. Everybody that works, and I'm speaking as an employee, a team member of Ramsey Solutions right now, every one of us has all the tools that we need to adjust our lifestyle, our budget, to the inflationary pressures. It's called a budget. It's called financial peace. And I think that's what you need to invest in them, because this is going to not only help them deal with the increased cost in gas and groceries, just using two buckets that are real right now. It's a real stressor. But if we can help them manage their day-to-day budget, their monthly budget, and win in the now, you're also setting them up to win in the future. They're going to stay with you a long time. So I think Smart Dollar and leading your team through how to handle their money in times like this, to where inflation, it sucks, but it's not rocking our world.
Well, and here's the thing. We share profits with our team.
That's correct.
A profit-sharing program. And so Ramsey family does not take all the money and put it in our bank account. When there's profits, we share it with the team. A systematic process that we use to do that. We did it since we were a little bitty company. And so we believe in sharing. But we've never paid someone based on what it cost what a gallon of gas cost. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be paid on that.
No.
Because at one minute it's $5, another time it's $2.
Yeah.
And you want me to cut your pay?
It's a roller coaster.
In half? You want me to cut your pay in half?
It makes no sense.
We're using the gas pump index to set your pay this month. That'd be popular.
Yeah.
Right? And so we don't pay based on what the costs are at the grocery store. But here's the weird thing, okay? All of these inflationary things have driven up wages.
That is correct.
In almost every category.
That's right.
And, guess what? That adds to inflation, because almost every good or service you buy has built into the cost of it payroll.
Yeah.
And so you buy a loaf of bread, it's not just the cost of the wheat.
That's right.
Or the plastic around it.
Yeah.
It's the cost of the guy who baked it, the guy who delivered it, the gas prices that delivered it, the gal who set it on the shelf, whoever it was, right? So labor, fuel. Oh, there's some wheat in there, and there's your bread, right?
That's right.
And so all the increase, labor went from $10 an hour to $20 an hour all of a sudden, and guess what? That shows up in your loaf of bread.
Yes.
And so, but also that means that the guy buying the loaf of bread went from $10 to $20 an hour, because that's what it takes to hire somebody in entry-level positions these days. So I don't have any of those positions. But all of our positions, just about every category we have, our comp studies, we've seen tremendous increases, not based on inflation, but based on what it takes to hire someone into that position. And then that becomes an element of inflation with trickle-down economics. For those of you that don't know what that means, this is The Ramsey Show. This hour on The Ramsey Show in the lobby of Financial Peace University on the debt-free stage. Brett and Mary are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Cool. Welcome. Good to have you guys. So, where you guys live?
Harrisburg, North Carolina.
All right. Cool. Welcome to Nashville. And how much have you paid off?
$127,000.
All right. Very good. And how long did this take you?
35 months, almost 36.
Okay, cool. And your range of income during that time?
It started out at 127, and then thanks to COVID, it went down to 97, and then back up to 118, and this year we should be back to where we started, 127.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a counselor for a large hospital system in the Charlotte area.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a network engineer and a voice over IP specialist.
Ah, very good. Good for you guys. Wonderful. What kind of debt was the 127?
15 of it was typical Sallie Mae, and then another 12,000 of it was one of those 10-year student loan forgiveness programs that we figured out doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then 100,000 of it was our mortgage.
Oh, look at the weird people! Paid for house! Whoop, 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 whoop. Well done, you guys. What's the house worth?
The current market's $325, $350.
Nice! And it's all yours!
Yep.
Cool. How long y'all been married?
18 years.
You ever been 100% debt-free since you've been married?
Nope.
Nope. First time. I love it. How's it feel?
Feels great.
Amazing.
It does feel great. So tell us the story. What happened 3 years ago that got you started on this?
A couple of things. I know you're a car guy. We're both members of a local car club in the area, and just by coincidence, on the way home from those meetings every month, your show was on, and it was just on the radio one day when we started the car. And it started out as just entertaining to listen to, and then it just started to make more sense the more I listened to it.
Then I started to bother them.
Yeah, and then so I just started listening to it every day, on my walks, and then it just made sense. What you were saying made sense. So we just got focused on it basically. The 10-year student loan. When I would see those statements, you don't have to make any payments on them, but that doesn't mean you're not charging interest. And when I'd see those statements come in with all that interest on them, and just the thought that we might have to pay all that back one day, realized we needed to.
Yeah, we got to clear this up. Now, once you got started, you just plowed on through the house and everything, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
Funny story about this, though, because he kind of put us on the plan without having a conversation to me about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So,
Uh-oh.
I'm going to be honest here, Dave. Your name was cursed a little bit at my house.
I can imagine. I can imagine. He violated every counselor's law.
Yeah.
Until we sat down and went over the budget, and I saw that there was a budget for a vacation, and I saw that there was money in my new car fund, and I saw that there was money, how it was strategically placed.
Wow.
And after that, I was like, okay, sold. I'm done. I'll be quiet.
Wow. Just like that.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That reminds me of what
Rachel
Rachel
here's the deal.
says.
She don't go along, but she can be bought.
She can be. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
That was after the student loans were paid for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He wants to make that clear.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't do any vacationing or any of that when we were paying off student loan debt for sure.
But you got now where you can, and then you did the normal stuff you should have been doing, baby steps 4 through 6,
right?
Where you're enjoying your life but being intentional, and then you knock the house out,
right?
And it still knocks out because you had a very small mortgage and you knock it all out within the whole 36 months. That's very impressive, y'all. Very well done. You're heroes, man. I'm proud of you. Very cool.
Thank you. We're honored to be here too. So thank you so much for having us.
Well, we're honored to have you. You're powerful. This is good stuff. Okay, now, Brett and Mary, you've done it. You're 100% debt free, house and everything. First time in 18 years of marriage. What is the secret to getting out of debt? When someone says, "How did you do that?" What do you tell them?
Having a written plan, having a budget. We were never terrible with money. We never got into serious, money issues. I'd throw just one day I'd decide to put $300 on the mortgage. The next month, $400 on the mortgage. But I didn't have a plan because I didn't want to spend too much. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't know how much money we had because I didn't have a written plan. So once I saw on paper, it's just like getting a raise. It really is. You realize
you can have the car fund, the vacation fund, and pay extra on the mortgage.
Yep.
And pay extra on the mortgage. You can do it.
Yep. And we knew every month exactly how many extra dollars we had to pay on the mortgage. So that's what we did.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Dave, I've got to ask, because for years, decades, you said if you live like no one else, later you can live and give like no one else. And I'm not going to ask a give question because I got to ask a live question. You're totally debt free. You guys are members of a car club. Is there like a dream car coming? Is there one already in the driveway? Do we know? What are we looking at here?
Well, believe it or not, no, there's no car coming, but we're actually on our honeymoon also on this trip here because We didn't have the money to do that when we got married.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so that's first. So we are on vacation. We're paying for it, and we're on vacation.
Good.
That's great. Good for you guys.
Where all are you going? Nashville and what else?
That was our dream to come to Nashville.
That's it.
And,
my
at the
gosh.
time, so we're doing it 18 years later.
That's a way to go. I love it. Ha ha! Well, welcome. We're so glad to have you. That is so good. All right, now once you do all that, you got to buy a car. What's the car?
Yeah.
You guys are car people.
You
Come on.
dodged the question to get husband points, and it was a good move. It was a good move.
In his defense, he has collected cars over the years. So, and one he inherited, which was his father's, and it was a 1984 Mustang.
Ooh.
And so he has other Mustangs. We're probably going to work on the fun for me because I'm rocking 239,000 miles on a Honda. So
Come on. All right.
Okay, you're up. So there you go. You're up. You're up. You're up to bat. No
but
doubt.
I haven't decided because I'm going to cry when I let go of that car. So.
Oh.
That's so cool.
Tears of joy.
Well, I love my car. I just love it.
Dave.
Trust me, we saw your Raptor earlier, sir.
It's down there in the reserved spot, no doubt about it. I love it. Good job, guys. That's fun. You're fun. Well, this is what it's about, living and giving like no one else. And it just, in your all's case, what I keep hearing over and over again was, A, you got together, and B, just the intentionality. It took the sloppy edges out of what was already a frugal lifestyle, already a fairly reasonable lifestyle. You were not out of control, as you said, Brett, but all you did was just tighten it up by being intentional, by making everything behave and do what it's supposed to do, what you wanted it to do. You get to choose, and you chose wisely. Well done. Very, very well done. Good work. Good work. Proud of you guys. We're honored to have you here with us.
Well, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much.
Got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That's definitely the next chapter in your story. How ordinary people built extraordinary wealth. How you can too. A bestseller. We're going to give you. Also give you a copy of our best-selling book we've ever done at Ramsey, The Total Money Makeover. You can give that to someone else and stir up a holy ruckus with them. Get some stuff going on there. I love doing that. So good stuff. Thanks again, guys, for being here. Brett and Mary from Charlotte, North Carolina, $127,000 paid off, house and everything. In 35 months, they're officially weird, making $127,000. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! You gotta love it. Gotta love it. We've had in the last month or so a 24-year-old, a 20, and a 74-year-old, and everything in between. And since the first of the year, almost $22 million in debt-free screams.
Wow.
Pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. And get to talk to millionaires, baby step millionaires every day as we go out and sign books and as they call in here, meeting people that have been doing this stuff. And you're listening today maybe for the first time. I sure hope that you think this is more than mere entertainment. I sure hope you decide to go change your life. It's why we show up and do this every day. It's for you. This is The Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Our scripture of the day is 1 Peter 5:10. And the grace of God who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered for a little while, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. One of his better quotes, and he was a quote machine for sure. Wow, what a man. All right, Kay is with us in Denver, Colorado. Hey, Kay, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you. How you doing today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I lost my husband 7 months ago to cancer.
Oh, my.
And we never decided whether we were going to purchase the home for our 3 kids or whether we were going to make a large down payment for them. And now I'm kind of like, what do I do?
Purchase. Your 3 children are grown, and you wanted to buy them homes as adults. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. That's what we're saying.
Okay. All right. Wow. So you're obviously in a very good position financially.
I ran into this book in 2009 called Total Money Makeover. And it just stopped Frank's and we own a business, and it just stopped our life, and we just turned around and got ourselves debt-free.
Wow. Okay. I'm so sorry. How old was he?
He was 64, going on 46.
I love that.
I want that on my tombstone. I love him already. What a great guy. Oh, my gosh. And you have 3 kids, and they're all grown.
Mm-hmm.
Are they all married?
They're all married.
Okay. All right. And what is your net worth now?
$4 million.
Good for you. Okay. And so you're talking about buying a house price of what per kid?
I have one in Portland, so kind of $500,000. I have one here in the Denver area, so another $500,000, and I have one in Minnesota, and I think I could do $300,000.
Okay, or 500 or whatever. I mean, if you did so $1.5 million of your would leave you at 2.5, right?
Yeah, but that includes my home.
Yeah.
So cash.
Pretty big hit.
I have $3 million.
Yeah, it's a pretty big hit. Cut your cash in half.
But $1 million I just got from him. So in my mind, he's paying for 2 out of the 3 kids right now.
Mm-hmm. How old? And you're how old?
57.
How old are they? The kids, what's the range?
38, 36, 34.
Okay.
Are you planning to stay in the business? You going to sell the business? What's that paying you?
I'm planning to stay in the business, and it could pay me anywhere from, like this last year, I really didn't work, and I made $50,000. I'm sure I won't go back like I was, so I don't know, 50 to 150, 200,000, probably what I could make a year. But for the last 5 years, we kind of retired in 2017 because this cancer hit 4 times. And so I would work, and that would be our play money. We'd take the kids here, or we'd do this, or we'd do that.
Okay. I love the idea of helping the kids, and but the caveat has to be that you're okay first. And $1.5 million out of this is it's pushing my fear button a little bit for you. Okay. It's not $1.5 million out of 11 million. It's half your cash, and so I'm probably going to do this in 2 stages if I'm you. Like a max of 300 per kid, and so that uses 1/3 of your cash, not half of your cash, right? And that might buy the one in Minnesota or wherever it was, the full house, I don't know, and to be the down payment for the other two. And then you're working and making $200, and you look up and your net worth is $5 million 5 or 10 years from now, and you pay the other two off. You know?
So if I was going to buy the kids the home, I was going to keep it under a trust and I was going to have the house. So they couldn't borrow against it, so they couldn't, ever get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And
well,
so if
I would want
I kind of lose that.
I had a friend that paid for his kids' houses, and all he asked for was a letter from each of the kids and their spouse promising to never borrow a dime again of any kind, and in return you get a house. And you're going through financial peace and so forth, right? And so that's the commitment on their part. Rather than trying to protect them from themselves, the best way to protect them from themselves is not be somebody they need to be protected from. And so if they won't be willing to commit to not turn around and mortgage it, I don't want to give them one.
So the other piece of this is I have one that's good to fair with money, one that's fair, and one's fair to terrible.
Yep.
So
so you're going to have to prove to me that you're worthy of this by quit being fair to terrible. Because otherwise I'm giving a drunk a drink. I have no desire to give somebody a house that's going to turn around and it be a curse to them rather than a blessing. The whole purpose of this is to be a blessing.
And I agree, and we agree to that, and I understand that. But what if they can't qualify for a $300,000 home or $250,000 home?
No. Well, it may take a little while to execute all this, which will also give you time to grow some more wealth. No one says you have to do it all today if they're not ready.
Okay.
We started the discussion I was assuming they were all ready, but I may want to rehab the behaviors of one of these and get commitments from the other two, and this might take a year. During which time your money is invested and it's going to go up, and because you're probably not touching any of this, you're probably just going to make enough to live on, I suspect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Yeah. One of the things I've learned is that generosity sometimes is hard work. Surprisingly. It's not giving you're not giving somebody $20 at the gas pump. Surprise and delight, random generosity. This is $300,000 to somebody that you love and that you could be doing harm to if you don't do it right. So it's going to require a process, and you're grieving, and they're grieving.
Right.
So, I don't think the husband you're describing to me is going to give the kid that's misbehaving with money. Was he that guy? Was he an enabler?
No, he wasn't. But his biggest pet peeve is all these kids rent, and as you know, rent is crazy right now.
Yeah,
and that was just his thing.
I agree. I'm a real estate guy too. I like it. I love the idea of them all having paid for houses. But I want that to be a blessing to them, and that entails them, A, handling money well, B, committing to never borrow money again. Otherwise, it undoes everything that his legacy, your legacy that you're trying to do is doing. So I would just let this unfold a little bit over time here. Let's give this a little time. You guys continue the grieving process. It takes a little while to breathe. You're doing awfully well on the phone here. Thank you for that. That's because I was about crying just listening to you. But sitting down with them and going, okay, guys, I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I'm kind of thinking out here in the near future. Fall, next spring, something like that. We need to be talking about doing this, and here's what I'm thinking, and here's my worries, and here's what I think I'm going to ask you to do, and y'all start processing that, and you can do whatever you want to do, but that's the way we would probably do it around here if we were doing it. So there you go. Wow. Ken Coleman, good show today.
Thanks, sir.
Good job to James, to Ben, to Kelly, Zach in the booth. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Here, you can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.